So, Masechet Megillah, first chapter, second Mishnah. So, yesterday we established that there are 5 times where we read the Megillah: 11, 12, 13, 14th, and 15th of Adar. And we said that 14th and 15th is the ones that are written in the Megillah. The 14th is unwalled cities, and the 15th is walled cities. And then we said, but we give permission to the villagers to read earlier. The villagers used to come on Mondays and Thursdays into the town, and they didn't know how to read. So we give them earlier to read. So now we're going to continue over here. Bi'ur Mishnah Bet. Explanation from Mishnah Bet. Keitzad, how? Megillah nikret ב-11, ב-12 וכולו. How? So we already got the 14th and 15th. We understand it's written in the Megillah. But how did you get to 11, 12, and 13? So it's going to go through all the possibilities. חל להיות יום 14 בשני, if the 14th of Adar happened to be on a Monday. So then what do? Then it's easy. That's right. כפרים ועיירות גדולות קוראים בו ביום. Villages and big cities are going to read on the 14th, because anyway Monday the villages are in town. The villages are in town anyway on a Monday. הואיל ויום כניסה הוא, since it's a day of market, the day they come into town, אף הכפרים קוראים בו. So everybody reading it, also the villages, ומוקפות חומה למחר, and walled cities are going to read it on the 15th, like it's supposed to be. קוראים למחר ב-15 בר. The question is, חל להיות 14 באדר בשלישי וברביעי, if the 14th of Adar happens to be on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday. Then what happens? כפרים מקדימים ליום הכניסה. So the villagers are going to come on a Monday. For sure. They're going to come on a Monday.
They come anyway.
Yeah. ליום שני בשבוע. This is the Monday of the week. That it, שהוא 13 באדר, that it is the 13th of Adar. אם חל 14 להיות בשלישי. If the 14th is on a Tuesday, then it's the 12th. אז הוא 12 באדר, then it's the 12th. אם חל 14 להיות ברביעי, and if it happens to be the 14th on the Wednesday, then it's on the, so it's either on the 13th or on the 12th. It's going to fall on. Okay? ועיירות גדולות קוראים בו ביום. Big cities are going to read on either on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday. ב-14 באדר, on the 14th of Adar, ומוקפות חומה למחר, and the ones surrounded by a wall are going to read the next day. Now it's an interesting one. חל להיות 14 בחמישי בשבוע שהוא יום הכניסה. Again an easy one. Happens to be on Thursday. You might think maybe the villagers are allowed to come on a Monday. Yeah, since we allowed them before to come on a Monday. Yeah, so you might think that maybe we're allowed to get the villagers 3 days before.
3 days before.
3 days before on a Monday. חל להיות 14 בחמישי Yeah. חל להיות 14 בחמישי בשבוע שיום כניסה. It says no, we don't give them permission. Since today is any day, the reading day. In other words, they don't have an excuse to come on a Monday. There's no excuse. Anyway, they're going to be here on the Thursday. So they don't have an excuse. When they have an excuse, they're not in town, we give them the excuse. Over here, they don't have the excuse. We won't give them the excuse to go earlier.
But you think some people would come Monday and not Thursday?
No.
No, that way if they gave them the excuse, some would come Monday and they worried they wouldn't let them come also Thursday?
No, they probably wouldn't. Yeah, because anyway, they need to be Thursday in town.
Yeah.
כפרים ועיירות גדולות קוראים בו ביום. So big cities and villages are going to read on Thursday, which is the 14th, ב-14. ואין הכפרים מקדימים ליום שני. We don't give permission to the villagers to come on a Monday, שהוא 11 באדר. That it is 11 of Adar. And we said in the Mishnah there is such a possibility. 11, 12, and 13. Right? So even though there is a possibility of 11, we don't give them that. שמיום כניסה ליום כניסה אין מקדימים. Because this is the rule. We don't go from one entry day to another entry day. In other words, if you have an excuse, you want to come in an earlier entry day, so you can come in an earlier entry day. The earlier entry day on the Thursday is a Thursday. You don't have an excuse here. Okay. Umukafot Choma. So this is on a Thursday. So Mukafot Choma, city is surrounded by a wall. ב-15, they read on the 15th. Chaliot 14 Erev Shabbat. This is going to be complicated now. Happens the 14th on a Friday. כפרים מקדימים ליום הכניסה. The villages are going to go on a Thursday. Right? We give them earlier. ליום החמישי 3 באדר. ועיירות גדולות ומוקפות חומה קוראים בו ביום. And big cities and walled cities are going to read on a Friday. Now, why the walled cities are reading on a Friday? They should read on Shabbos. Or maybe on a Sunday. Right? So let's see. אף מוקמות חומה, so it explains, even the walled cities שדינם לקרוא ב-15, that they're supposed to read on the 15th, קוראים ב-14. They would read on the 14th. שאין קריאת המגילה בשבת, because we don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. Why? גזרה שמא יעבירנו 4 אמות ברשות הרבים. It's a decree just like the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. You are afraid people are going to carry the Megillah 4 אמות in the public domain. ואין דוחתים קריאתם של המקפות חומה ליום ראשון. It says, but there's another opportunity, there's another thing. You can push it to Sunday, the surrounding city. You can push it to Sunday. Why don't you push it to Sunday? You don't push it to Shama. לפי שהוא כבר 16 באדר. Because Sunday is going to be on the 16th of Adar. And the Mishnah says, there's a verse in the Mishnah, says, ולא יעבור. And do not pass. Do not pass after the 15th. So you can have a leeway 11 to 15th, no more. ומכל מקום, but nevertheless, אין קוראים פרשת ויבוא עמלק אלא בשבת. But you do read, even though it is not officially Purim, yeah, but the Kriya for Purim you do on that Shabbat. אלא בשבת. וסעודת פורים, יש סוברים שעושים ב-14. The question is, when are you going to have the feast of Purim now? You can read the Megillah, but what about the feast? So the feast is going to be, some say it's going to be on the 14th, ביום שבו קוראים את המגילה, ויש סוברים שדוחים אותו ליום ראשון, and some say the feast you can push to Sunday. The Megillah you can push to Sunday, but the feast you can push for Sunday. Two opinions. חליות 14 בשבת happened to be the 14th on Shabbos. So in the Purim happens to be on Shabbos. Hainu, today it doesn't happen, but in that time they went according to the moon, so it could happen. היינו בזמן שקידשו את הלבנה, על פי הראייה. It is the time that they sanctified the moon according to when they saw it. שכן לפי לוח העולם, because according to our calendar, they set it up that לא יחול פורים בשבת, that never Purim is going to fall on Shabbat. ואף לא בשני ורביעי. They also set it up that it's never going to fall on Monday or on Wednesday also. כפרים ועיירות גדולות, so if, again, it's on Shabbos. Purim is on Shabbos. 14th is on Shabbos. So what happens? Kfarim, the villages, easy, on the Thursday. They go back to the Thursday, the villages, right? Ayarot Gdolot also go back on the Thursday. You would think they would go back on a Friday, just one day, or for the unwalled, or go later on a Sunday together with the walled. No, you go back to the Thursday together with the villages. From all the way Shabbat. We see soon why. מקדימים וקוראים ליום הכניסה. So both villages and big cities go to a Thursday, ליום חמישי. שהוא 12 באדר, that it is the 12th of Adar. Why? שכיוון שהעיירות מקדימות, קוראים הן עם הכפרים כאחד. In other words, since already somebody is reading on a Thursday, so you tell the people in the city, yes, you can make another reading on a Friday, but it doesn't make sense. Because there were already people reading on a Thursday, go read together with them. In other words, at your time, you won't be able to read anyway. You'll have to push it off, right? And since people are going to be on a, don't make another day of reading. It's not necessary. Go together with the villagers. Okay. We see that when it comes to Megillah, we always make things earlier. By the way, it's the only thing. We're going to learn later on about sacrifices. We actually learned it. For example, when personal sacrifices you're supposed to bring on Shabbat. So it says, what do you do? Can you bring it earlier? It says over there, no. It's always later. Megillah is always earlier. Everything else in sacrifice, it usually goes later. After Shabbat. If it was sacrifices, you're supposed to bring on Shabbat, you bring it after. Megillah, you do it before. Yeah. Umukafot choma lemachar. And the one who's surrounded by a wall, that's an easy one again. They're going to do it on a Sunday. On the Sunday. It's on Shabbos, right? So the ones surrounded by a wall are going to be on the 15th for the Shabbos. That's their day anyway.
Shabbos they can do it.
No, the one who's surrounded by a wall. They do it the day after. Yerushalayim, if we Purim for us...
Yerushalayim you can do it on Shabbos.
But for Yerushalayim it's already Sunday. Because it's the day after.
Oh.
If Purim for us falls on the Shabbos, for Yerushalayim, Purim for them falls on a Sunday. It's the next day. They do it on the 15th. Purim is on the 14th. Shabbos. Shabbos. If it was on a Shabbos, if Purim falls on a Shabbos, then the villagers read on a Thursday, the regular cities read on a Thursday, and the world cities read on a Sunday. Okay? ומוקפות חומה למחר ב-15. חל להיות 14 אחר השבת. So what happens if 14th is on a Sunday? ביום ראשון בשבוע, on the first day of the שבוע, now we get the 11th. How? כפרים מקדימים ליום הכניסה. The villagers go to the Thursday beforehand. So if it's on a Sunday, the villagers go on the Thursday beforehand. ליום חמישי שלפני השבת, to the Thursday that before Shabbos. שהוא 11 באדר. That is the 11th of Adar. ועיירות גדולות קוראים בה ביום. Big cities, easy, on a Sunday. That's the 14th. ב-14. ומוקפות חומה למחר, and the one who are surrounded by a wall are going to read on a Monday, the next day, ב-15 באדר. בגמרא מבט ברייתא, the Gemara brings a ברייתא, מתי מקדימים וקוראים ביום הכניסה? It says, don't jump into conclusion. It says, when do we do it that we let villagers read in the day of entrance? For example, I'll tell you why it's a legitimate question. For example, we're going to learn what is considered to be a village later on. Casa Grande, maybe Casa Grande not, but Sierra Vista, according to all opinions, is a village. So, do we let Sierra Vista people come to Tucson, for example, because that's a big city, to read the Megillah on a Monday or on a Thursday? We don't. Today you don't hear such things. So he says, why not? How come, according to the Mishnah, this doesn't work? So let's see. So the Braita in the Gemara says, matai. When are we talking about all this Mishnah is taking place? That what? That makdimim vekorim beyom haknisa. That we give permission to the villagers to come early. Bezman she'ashanim ketiknan. We only do it at the time that the Beit HaMikdash is there. Ve'Yisrael shurim al admatam. And the Jewish people are in the Jewish land. אבל בזמן הזה אין קוראים אותו אלא בזמנה. But at our time when we're in exile, we only do it at its allotted time, 14th and 15th. There's not 11, 12, and 13 anymore. Only 14th and 15th today.
Also, don't forget that it doesn't happen that it's on Shabbos.
Yeah, but all the other things, you can have it. Still, the villagers can come early.
On a Sunday.
Yeah, on a Sunday, on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on Wednesday, on a Friday. There's all, yeah. אין קוראים אותו אלא בזמנה. Now we only read it on 14th and 15th. כפרים ועיירות ב-14. Villages and big cities will always read on the 14th. ומוקפות חומה on the 15th. Unless there's a Shabbos, and then they will have to adjust.